Yo, what's good, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another one of my reviews. This is All American Homecoming, Season 2, Episode 8, entitled Rock the Boat. This is my first time reviewing All American. I'm going to stick with it. Before y'all ask, yes, I do watch the original All American. However, I like Homecoming a lot better. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to review the second half of this second season, and we just going to see how it goes. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff if you choose to. If not, just sit back, relax, and we going to get right into this thing. Just to let you know, I'm not going to go scene by scene, and I'm not going to talk about everything that happened on the show, on the episode, but this review is still going to give what it's supposed to give. So the opening scene started with a bang, and it was very reminiscent of my time at Florida A&M University, which is a HBCU, and attending a HBCU is truly life-changing, and I'm glad that this show depicts every facet of life on the campus of an HBCU. So the opening scene was lit. They was getting their entire life. You saw the fraternities, you saw the sororities. It was very, very real. I'm like, yeah, I remember them days. You better not cut that line because them sororities sisters gonna have a problem with you. Don't cut the line because the fraternity brothers gonna beat your ass. So I liked it because when Simone was walking toward the women, I was like, oh girl, don't cut that line, but baby girl didn't. So we see Keisha and her professor. I'm no ma'am, off rip. I didn't like her the first half of the season, and I still don't. I don't like her now. And I was like, I understand pushing your students to be the best and getting the best out of them. But this dance instructor was acting like she was Debbie Allen or somebody. And I'm like, ma'am, she's in college, not the army. I'm going to need you to chill out because she was very, very she was doing too much. And Keisha was stressed the hell out. So I'm like, my God, Lord, help this baby. She was so stressed out that she ended up having a panic attack. And Cam ends up finding her. He calls the gang to the rescue and they have a little cute moment just saying how they weren't there, for each other because everybody has been dealing with their own stuff respectfully. So Auntie Amora had a little talk with sis, to let her know she needed to ease up. But by the instructor facial expression, I don't think she gonna do no such thing, y'all. I don't think she gonna do no such thing. I said, look at this lady. She like, yep, in one ear, out the other ear. I said, baby girl, you might have to drop this class because your instructor, So we see Simone and Lando. Oh, well, Simone sees Lando at the party, and he could tell that something was going on with her, but she didn't want to tell him what was going on, which is understandable. So she sees Damon, who has some little groupie dancing up all on him. And so Simone tries to run interference like, wait a minute, you got a girlfriend. What's going on? This ain't you. So he lets her know that him and Thea are no longer together. And Simone lets him know about her positive drug test. And he is just as shocked as Simone is about the results. Like, you care too much about your career to even do something like that. And she actually, this phone was disrespectful, y'all. I'm sorry, I thought it was on silent. So Simone and Damon share an embrace, and Lando sees them, and I ain't gonna lie, he looked a little jealous. And I was like, baby, I understand because Damon is fine as hell, but he not you. Lando, he is not you. You don't have nothing to worry about. Maybe you do, but I'm just saying right now, you ain't got nothing to worry about. So we trying to find out who the hell drugged Simone. Like a lot of y'all, I thought it was Thea ass. I thought it was Thea. I was looking at her sideways this whole time until it was revealed what really happened with this darn THC mess, TC whatever. I said, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. So Simone believes that Tootie, her teammate, possibly drugged her. And, her and Thea have this, this moment or whatever. And Thea is leading the charge to bring justice for Simone, which was odd as hell. It was odd as hell because, like I said, I'm still looking at Thea sideways like, I don't trust you all the way, sis. But Tootie lets them know that she would never do something like that because she actually had a family member who was serving time for something they didn't do involving, drugs. So she was telling Simone, even though I don't like you, I wouldn't do that to you. So they're back at square one trying to find out what actually happened. So let me say this. I got to take a pause. I got to, even calm my voice down with this. I don't know if Damon and Simone were supposed to be in game initially, but the writers done messed up. Okay. The writers have messed up in a major way because Lando and Simone, my God, the chemistry, the sexual attraction is off the charts. I mean, let me say this. When he comes in the room the first time to check on her, because, it's been found out that Simone had a positive drug test. And he was like, you just could have told me, we're friends. You could talk to me about anything. And Simone's thing was she didn't want Lando to look at her differently. And I said, oh, so how he views you matters. Okay, sis, I got you. I'm here for it. I am here for Lando and Simone. I was never a Damon and Simone rider, even though I thought they, were cute together aesthetically. I was never here for them. The moment the writers, I kind of saw the direction that the writers were going into with this whole Lando and Simone, I was like, oh, that's her person right there. So what else do we need to talk about? Simone and Damon, who? At this point, Simone and Damon might as well be distant cousins. Maybe that was the wrong analogy, but you know what I mean. How can I help you? I don't see it for them. I just don't. I do not see it for them. But baby, he is so fine, and he, was like, you can talk. His voice is so sexy. But basically, he was like, you can tell me anything, and and he was like, but I think you're gonna find a way to get through this, and then they kiss, and let me tell you something. Though their kisses, these are not your normal TV kisses that these two actors are portraying on our televisions. These are some deep, passionate, tongue, deeply in love type kisses they do. And I said, what is going on here? Is there a backstory to these people in real life? I don't know, but I'm here for that too. Because, baby, it's giving on TV. It's giving what it's supposed to give. But as I stated, we're back to trying to figure out how did this THC get into Simone's system. So I'm going to pause and hit on Damon, but I'm going to come right back to this scene. Damon is told by Coach Marcus, do not say anything to the media. But, Damon is young, and Damon feels like he has to protect and stand up for the university and his teammates and all those things. So he was doing good. No comment. Then the immaturity in him broke, and he just started talking, making matters worse. So then JR had to come and save the day. No comment, which is what Damon should have been doing the whole time anyway. I said, look at him. He just young. I don't blame him. He young. I probably would have did the same thing too at that age. I would have tried to hold my composure, but I don't know if I would have been able to stand strong as those reporters are trying to paint me in a certain light. So I understand why Damon did, what he did. Now, going back to the scene with Simone and Lando. So Nate comes in and he catches them kissing. And Nate is like, what's been going on? So they fill him in because he has had no cell phone service for 2 days because he'd been out in the woods somewhere in a cabin with his family. But came back looking fabulous. So I said, okay. Nate was like, I left y'all for 2 days. How the hell did all this happen? So then Nate goes over to the dresser and was like, Simone, did you use this? And she was like, yeah, I ran out. Well, bingo, here it is. This is THC infused lotion. You've been doping up yourself. I said, stop. I said, stop the damn presses. I know we ain't been ready to rip Thea a new one. And this whole time, Simone been drugging herself. I had to laugh. It was so ridiculous. I had to laugh because it was funny. But I said, you know what? I thought it was something deeper, but I can actually see something like this happening. I said, all right, writers, y'all did that. I found it funny. I wasn't upset, but it was hilarious that that's what happened. So at the end of the day, she wasn't really innocent, but she was. It was a thin line. Kind of like a thin line between love and hate. It was a real thin line between Simone's guilty and non-guilty type of situation. So I'm going to just say this. Nico needs to be punched in the throat because Nico was getting on my nerves. First of all, I didn't like what he said to Simone about how it's good to see like we're all being held to the same standard. Get your ass out of her office. Can't stand him. Can't stand him. But I was happy because we found out that Nate is going to be running for student body president. And I hope that Nate wins. I will get such gratification watching Nate beat Nico's ass. And so we get to another part where Lando comes and sees Simone and he is looking scrumptious. And basically he's just giving her some encouraging words before she has to make her speech in front of the board. And, and that was a cute scene. And they both encourage each other, because he was like, maybe your story is not just for you. Maybe, it's for someone else. And, she was encouraging him about, not being silent and speaking up. And so as he was leaving, he kissed her on the cheek. I was like, oh my God, I really liked them. First season, I think we were introduced to Lando. He was going to another school. I didn't like him. He was fine, but I didn't like him. But now we're getting an opportunity to get to know him somewhat. And I'm really feeling Lando. I really am. And he just came in and stole the show for me in the sense of him and Simone. So Simone gives her speech in front of I believe the sports director, her coach, and the board. And of course, Nico is on the board. And, it was like guilty, not guilty, guilty. And of course, he said guilty. But I was so glad the sports director made his statement and basically was saying, like, we do need, because Simone was talking about the archaic rules, something like THC. These are things that basically people are making money off of, and you're going to basically suspend her, or the possibility of expulsion the possibility of getting expelled for something that is available to everybody. And it's not a it's not an enhancement drug, so it's not doing anything to her game or causing her to play at a level that other people are not playing at. So I was glad that he said that. And Simone only got suspended for one match, which was one game. And I was so happy about that. I said, yeah, Nico, that's what you get. Can't stand the little bastard. And so we see Thea. And Thea is on the tennis court and she can't serve. She's just throwing the ball up, I think about 3-4 times. Maybe she, still concerned about her shoulder. And I said, I felt bad for Thea in that moment. I really did. And I saved her for last too because I didn't mention the scene where her and Damon spoke for the first time since their breakup. And it was sad too because it was basically like she was breaking up with him again. And she was basically telling him that, it's almost like everything is so like highlighted with him. Everything is so big, and she can't balance the aspect of having a relationship and then being all about tennis. And I gave Thea, I gave her some leeway because Thea is one of those individuals who were born, raised, and groomed for tennis. That's all she knew. You could tell she didn't have friends. You could tell she really didn't have a life outside of tennis, outside of practicing and preparing her body for becoming this great athlete. So I understand now that she's in a relationship, she doesn't know all the ins and outs of it. And if she's going to ever come to a point where she has to choose, she's going to always choose tennis because tennis is her first love. Tennis is that thing that has never let her down, has always been there. So I did feel bad for her in that moment. And I was like, even though I'm not here for Thea and Damon, like, I just feel like, nah, they all right, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, y'all need to bring somebody in who can spark a fire with Damon because Thea, she cool or whatever, but she just ain't it. Like, they just don't have that. It feels like a very freshman high school relationship and not college. That's just how I see it. But anyway, this was a great episode. I'm looking forward to how the rest of this season is going to go. I'm looking forward to doing the reviews. So be sure to leave a comment If you choose, we can have a little dialogue going on. Again, I appreciate you guys listening. Until next time. Oh, I forgot about Sunday dinner. Simone mother comes, and she was like, y'all ain't finna do this to my baby. And so she kind of felt like she overstepped a little bit, but she got everybody together to go to Amara's house for dinner, which they needed that. They really needed that. And I was glad to see them all come together. And I want to say, and I missed this part, so y'all forgive me if I'm wrong. But I want to say Amara opened it up for the campus to have like a pancake breakfast with her. I don't know if it's weekly, monthly, or whatever, but so that everyone could feel included and not excluded to have this time with her, it was open to the entire campus. I forgot that part, but it was very important. So again, as I come to my second close, thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. Until next time, y'all be safe out there. One.